Obviously, the story that continues to swirl around here is the Alberto Salazar 4-year coaching ban.
Yeah.
We had Jenny Simpson make comments yesterday about how she's glad that Alberto's out of the sport. We had a response to that from Craig Engels, who's not coached by Alberto Salazar, but is in the Nike Oregon project. Then we had Jenny Simpson today respond to Craig Engels' response. So now we'll go to you, Lincoln, who will respond.
Oh, sorry, I was just
to Jenny Simpson's response, to Craig Engels' response, to Jenny Simpson's response, to the 4-year doping.
Yeah, just a quick, very quicker recap. Yesterday, Jenny Simpson wanted to call for the lifetime ban, as we mentioned. Craig Engels felt that her throwing in kind of all of the Nike Oregon project to her comments yesterday was a little off base, I guess you could say, and he gave some more comments. I encourage you to watch the entire 9-minute 46 seconds with Craig Engels. That one goes everywhere. Says he supports Salazar in his appeal. Now, I will say, this puts their athletes in a bit of an awkward position. Of course, what is he supposed to say? No, I don't support, or I do. So that one, a little bit tough to digest. Jenny, responds back to that. I guess the subtext here is these two athletes, Engels and Simpson, they had met the day before, had breakfast, they were jovial, everything was good.
Friends.
And Engels felt a little blindsided by what Simpson said, but she responded and said, you know what, Craig is a person I respect, and I respect his comments. I'm sticking with what I had to say. She just is going hard on the Nike Oregon project, and which is obviously within her right when a 4-year anti-doping ban was laid down against Alberto Salazar.
I will say this, both of these athletes are making incredibly interesting, coherent points.
Nuanced points.
Nuanced points on why they feel, how they feel. This is not a food fight, and this is a very important question that deserves the level of care that they're approaching it with. And I'm sure I know people are on both sides of this. Some people are going to side with her, some people are going to side with him, but they're getting at the core issue here, right? They're getting at what's important. It's not this extraneous conversation that's devolving into useless sort of things and name calling and things of that nature, right? It's kind of staying on, and it's a very important topic, right? What Jenny Simpson is saying is, if you choose to be associated with a group that has had allegations, how much benefit of the doubt do you get? And Engels is approaching it from a presumption of innocence. Don't loop us all together. I mean, this is a big question. This is a complicated question. This is a question that goes beyond track and field, and it's going on right now.
Yeah, and I think what her point, she's trying to say, this guy, it's no longer just suspicions. He's been convicted. Why would you want to be on a team where a coach, the head coach, even if he's not your direct coach, not writing your training, has been convicted? That's what she is saying. What he is saying is, you can't lump all of us in this.
Well, he's still saying there's still an appeal too.
Yeah.
Right? He's still saying it hasn't happened yet, which, and I understand her point, because a sentence has been levied. There is a 4-year coaching suspension for Alberto Salazar currently. That is indisputable at the moment. Now it may be appealed again, but I get where she's saying it's been adjudicated.
Absolutely.
And now we have established facts. She said she trusts USADA. She said she trusts WADA.
And it wasn't a short investigation. It was a 4-year investigation. Right. Charges were 2 years ago. That doesn't necessarily go one way or the other. I mean, that's not going to change a lot of people's mind. If you think he's guilty, you're going to stay thinking he's guilty no matter the time frame, and vice versa. But I see her point there. This is over for most people, and I think we're going to start to see a time where Nike Oregon project athletes that joined afterwards are going to have to decide, where am I really putting my beliefs, and where am I really putting all my eggs in a basket here? Because if this stays the way it is right now, I don't think they can continue to say we support this man.
And I will say this also, the American Nike Oregon project athletes have all spoken in one form or fashion here. And Matt Centrowitz said today, obviously he left the group in 2017, 18.
Yeah, it's tough to parse, but I think officially 18. Yes.
Moved from Portland. Excuse me. He said he's going to comment after the final. Wants to focus on the race. We get that, but Engels sits there and talks about it for 5-6 minutes, and I think everybody appreciates the openness and candor at this point that all the athletes are approaching it with, despite which perspective you're coming at it with. I'm surprised. I thought we were going to get a lot of people run straight through and not talk. at all and say, I'm just not going to talk, but there's been even athletes who aren't in the project not wanting to talk about it because they just don't want to touch it. But for the most part, everybody's been willing to speak their mind, which I think is good ultimately for this situation.
Well, I mean, more clarity is needed, and the athlete's perspective is ultimately the most important that we want to see. Yes, there's other sides of the story going on. We have the Mark Parker element with Nike, which is a whole other facet of this. But yeah, hearing from the athletes is very important. And now that this is, ostensibly settled, I understand where Simpson is certainly coming from.
Appeal. When eventually do you say, hey, this is the final verdict? Okay, that's it for the crack recap. It is 2:35 a.m. I have a run scheduled at 5 a.m. I'm not going to sleep, so we got to get ready. Are you going to come with me?
I'll let you know in tomorrow's video if I came.
Well, stay tuned for that. Talk to you guys later.